This conference will now be recorded.
Here, I assume that most of the crowd is from IT background or just they know the concept of testing, somewhere like that. So you all know automation testing has become of importance of late. So can anyone project their views on why automation testing is of such great importance in the current market? Why automation testing is of such great importance in the market? Anyone can share their views on this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically manual versus automation. Uh, because of the automation's benefits, that's why it's important. Time saving,
Mhm.
resource saving, and accuracy. So all these benefits that's why automation is becoming popular now, and there are so many tools available, user friendly. So that's why, and
Mm.
economical to buy. That's why it's becoming more about popular these days.
Okay, great, great. And Krishna was about to talk, right? Krishna Mohan, you were about to speak.
No,
Yeah.
nothing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you can share your views on why automation testing is important, Krishna, since you have unmuted. Anyone else like Vishal, Priya, Revati, Subhashish, Samir? Can you just tell me or share your views on why automation testing is important? Because guys, I want this class to be more of an interactive session. It's just not like a one-way traffic. So I want you guys to keep on sharing your views so that we'll all get to know what is your idea or mindset. Yeah, Subhashis, go ahead.
Yeah, so to make it more cost effective, to execute more number of cases in a shorter span of time, and to reduce manual effort, so that the
Mm-hmm.
overall profitability can be higher up.
Okay, great, great, nice. Anyone else? Anyone else, guys? Jay Prakash,
Um,
Priya.
I
Yeah, Sachin, go
I
ahead.
can add on a few points.
Yeah.
Yeah, to have increased test coverage, also to detect bugs in early phases of testing, and
Mm-hmm.
to have a efficient regression suite that allows us
Mm-hmm.
to improve scalability, and of course cost reduction and improving ROI is one aspect from the leadership side. Yeah, it's basically overall automation testing saves time and money,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, whether in terms of resources and yeah, pretty much that.
Okay, that's good to hear, everyone. Even my views on why automation testing is important is that it saves time, it saves money, it saves a lot of, we can save a lot of time on all this redundant tasks, and also we can increase the test coverage also. As you all rightly said, it increases the test coverage, saving cost, saving time, saving money, resource optimization, everything is there. What all you said is absolutely right, guys. So, on top of adding all this, like previously there were the days only manual testing was there to certify everything, but if you do automation under regular executions of your code in different environments, like previously when we have to test the same code in UAT or set or staging or production or whatever you name it, sitting in front of the system and doing it manually was a tedious task. Like when you have a robust automation scripts ready in picture, on a button click the script will be executing in the different environments. Thereby you can also observe the behavior and pattern of how the application is behaving in different environments, different servers, different memories, and all the stuff. So what can you infer from this graph? Like when you say manual versus automated, the life of a manual versus automated, what can you infer from this graph? And please share like if something is right or wrong with this graph or image or something. Just I want to know your views about the life of a manual versus automation testing. Anyone else? Anyone can talk like Revati, Harita, Santosh, Ram, Surabhi, anyone. Yes, anyone can talk. Like there are a couple more slides like this, then it will be a more informative session.
Yeah, it
Yes,
looks like a shy, very shy class. We are not. Uh, we are. I think Rahul is right. If we all participate, talk, give our opinions, then we learn more, and also other can learn from us. So I think
yes,
we should be open and no hesitation. And I'll watch for Rahul that we all should be participating there.
yes, yes,
Okay, I will start then.
yeah, yes,
The
sure.
two, it's a sadness versus happiness that's what it's showing.
Yeah.
Manual tester is sitting very gloomy and not very happy, and look at the automation guy,
Mm,
coffee, and gadgets and all. He's nicely dressed as well. So it shows that there are limitation drawbacks in automation that, well, I mean, with the manual, that
mm,
automation can help. And
mm.
that's probably my opinion. That's what this picture is reflecting that about.
Okay, that's great, CJ Binder. How about others? It's okay,
Uh,
guys. I want you to talk. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Priya.
I think it looks like since manual testing is time consuming and there are deadlines for project to be finished,
Mm,
I mean, manual testers will be under constant stress uh, to finish it before the time crunch, and the automated testers, maybe since they do it by module, they'll be able to
mm.
prioritize their options and then do it in a disciplined way. So they are more stress free.
Okay, got it, got it, got it. So that is the thing, guys. So this kind of a scenario occurs mostly during the go live, like when your application is about to go live, or when you're trying to submit the application to the customer. This will be a scenario like you have to execute a lot of test cases. You don't have time. You have to submit the screenshots. You have to prepare a lot of evidences and all the stuff. Whereas if your scripts are automated by the time, within a button click, you can execute all the easy scenarios, redundant scenarios, and the complicated scenarios can be done by the manual team. Okay, this is another inference of what this image is looking like. So what are the advantages of automation? As we have all discussed just now, reliability. Reliability means what? It performs the same set of operations each time they run. Like if we want to run this case for 1,000 times, if we do it as a human, we may tend to fail at 50th time, 100th time, 200th time, we never know. But if you want to run the same test cases for 1,000 times, it precisely performs the same set of operations each time they are run. Okay, so when I said when I'm running the same test case for 1,000 times, we can also see how the software or application behaves when we can keep the system under execution for a long hours. Will the application hang up? Will the application break? Will the RAM be, will the servers be flared up to the max capacity? If it reaches the maximum point, how the application behaves? Will the application break? Will there be any breach of data? Whatever it is. Comprehensiveness, as you all tell, that provides the ability to build a suite of tests that covers every feature in your application. That means what? Better test coverage. We can we can build a suite in such a way that which can cover major features of your application. So better quality software. That means what? We can run more test cases in less time, but reduce team size. With reduced team size, you can have a greater cost reduction. And next thing is automation tools run significantly faster than manual processes. It runs more quick. I mean, the execution of automation test finishes off in a flash. Then what is next? Programmability. So provides the ability to program sophisticated tests that brings out hidden information. So just park this point for a couple of minutes. Let me finish the reusability. So as I've told you, when your scripts are ready and good to go, we can reuse the same scripts in different environments. Like as I've told you, staging, UAT, live, I mean, not live, staging, UAT, pre-prod, UA, pre-production, anything. If you want to run the same code in multiple environments, then automation is very much useful. When I say programmability, what do you mean by bringing out hidden information? So whenever you're trying to log into a screen, you see some sort of animations, right? From the top to bottom, the animation comes, then you have to enter the username and password. So sometimes what happens, the animation should take around 2 seconds to load, but it took 5 seconds to load. We cannot bring those sort of information manually, but when you're doing automation, sometimes what happens, if the element doesn't come within the time limit, if that particular text box doesn't come in the time limit, then the code will fail. When we fail, what we have observed, yes, it is taking more than the anticipated time. Then the developers have worked for a solution by rerouting some configurations and all this stuff. Thereby we have increased the speed of the application. So these kind of minute informations also can be brought out via automation. Got it? Got it, everyone? Vishal, Priya, CJ Binder, Revati,
Yes. Yes.
Harita, Samir, yeah. And for the people who are unable to unmute themselves and talk, you guys can type it in the chat window. Okay?
Yes, Rahul, we got that.
Clark, got it?
ఇవ్వడ్డది బ్రో బండికి అది
Sorry,
ఉందా
Shiva, if you're talking anything apart from the class, I request you to mute. Okay? So, the same points we are covering here, the same points we are covering here, like speed, wider test coverage, accuracy, effective test management. Like what the concept of effective test management can be taken in the next level. What is that effective test management? Like if you want, now we have built another project which is where my base code is from this previous project. Now if you want to run the test cases to check whether the application is working properly or not, the same code can be re-executed in the different projects also. Got it? Got it, everyone?
Can you repeat that, please?
Like you have a application, Priya, like previously you worked on some application, the application has gone live, right? So now you have shifted to another project which is on the similar lines of your previous project. So what will be your opinion? Okay, there should be some minimalistic changes only, not much of a change, right? Yes or no? It's same
Yes.
on the functionality part and everything is same, just minimalistic changes as per the business rules. Now, you need not write any new automation scripts for that, right? You can make small modifications and you can import the same, run the same code in that project also, right? So that is called effective test management. That means you're saving time in this area also. Got it?
Okay. It's like it's reusable.
Yes. Not only reusable, like reusability point is not about like executing the code in different environments. You can reuse the code in different project which has built on the similar lines.
Yeah, understood. Got it.
Got
Thanks.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it clear for everyone? Is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Rahul, clear.
Yeah, that's great. So, what can you infer from this graph? Like, here many senior QA members are there, and they know the pain of executing the regression test cases on a regularly. So, based on this graph, can you share your views? Like, what is it?
Yeah, absolutely. I can go first. For example, whenever we have a new feature or any enhancement that is to be added onto an ongoing application,
Mm,
so in that case scenario, we need to do full regression sometimes, and the effort requires while doing full regression manually is definitely more than if we have
mm,
automation regression suites,
mm,
which we can modify a little bit as per the new integrated uh, module or feature or enhancement, and
mm,
then just run them. And then, yeah, that will save us a lot of time. And
mm,
yeah, so that's what I think the first bar graph suggests, that the
mm,
manual testing effort spent in hours is definitely more than the automation testing efforts. And gradually, if we move on to partial regression, like if we just had to uh, test manually test just one maybe just one integration or not many integration, then accordingly, I mean, overall the manual testing effort will always be greater than automation testing efforts, and when it comes to performing regression,
Mm,
doesn't matter if it's full regression or partial regression. And then when
mm,
it comes to performing smoke testing or sanity testing, again, like, we would definitely say that automation effort would be definitely less than manual testing effort.
mm. Okay, great. How about others? How about others, guys?
Yeah, basically this graph is showing that testing effort is much lesser with automation than manual. Any type of testing you do, whether regression, full, partial, sanity, or smoke, the
Mm.
testing effort is going to be much lesser than manual with automation.
Yes, yes. That's absolutely right. Yes, this is the understanding that we get from the graph, right? If you have automation scripts ready in place, then our execution time will be reduced, and we can focus on major areas, like areas apart from the test cases. So we can prepare some new scenarios. We can create some. We can try to find some new bugs. Yeah, got it. So So before you enter into this concept of test automation, remember these five things. First thing is, don't automate a mess. Like, since you know how to do automation and all, come up with a plan. Like, come up with an idea of what you're trying to do. Don't write the script simply for the writing of the script. Write the script in such a way that it saves your time and efforts. Okay, never come up with a, I mean, whenever you're trying to automate, have a clear plan and clear idea of what you're trying to automate. Just don't write the right script for the sake of scripting, which in turn create a mess out of it. Second thing, avoid complex logic in your script. When I say complex logic, avoid unnecessary logics in your script. Have the logic which is related to your business only. Don't have any kind of scripts which is not related to your business. You just want to show off or say, like, I know this stuff or something like that. Write the code which is related to the particular business. 100% automation is never ever possible at all. The max to max you can automate is 80% of the complete test cases. Okay, 100% automation is not at all possible. How many of you agree with me on this point? 100% automation is not possible. How many of you agree with me this point, that
Yep.
100% automation? Yeah.
Yep. Definitely.
Agree, yes.
Yeah. So what are the areas that cannot be automated, like as per your experience? Just give a guess, like what are the areas that cannot be automated also? What are the areas that cannot be automated?
The areas where human intervention is required. For instance, there is a complex calculation need to be done, or
Hmm.
some medical applications where you have to manually verify the results or do the testing. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, wherever human intervention is more relevant type of applications or functionalities, then automation should be avoided in those areas.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Moreover, I think automation mostly focuses on regression testing.
Hmm.
But yeah, it can definitely cover other testing types like smoke and sanity. But when it comes to testing types like security testing or accessibility testing
Hmm.
and uh, user experience testing or exploratory testing or ad hoc testing, for
Hmm.
instance. So these kind of testing activities we need not necessarily can automate because they
Hmm.
change way often
Hmm.
during the development phase or when we are working in an agile environment or in continuous integration, continuously delivery environment.
Hmm.
So yeah, in phases like these, in testing phases like these, whenever these kind of testings are required, yeah, we cannot automate much.
Yeah.
and it's not a safe move, as it would require constant
Mm.
changing in the scripts. Uh, yeah, I guess that's about it.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, it is. I can top of it. I can add some points to that.
Yes.
Actually,
Good.
development process is a cyclic process. Like we can't run total script at a time. Every module has certain time. So on that
Mm-hmm.
basis, we make it done in a logical way, not into
Mm-hmm.
complex.
Okay. Great. Great, Shiva. Yeah, and apart from that, we cannot automate this image process, captchas, biometric validations, audio video testing, and all this stuff. We cannot be done through automation. Okay, and beware of automation testers who don't understand testing. What do you mean by who don't understand testing? There are some people who directly wants to jump into test automation. So they cannot directly jump into test automation. So they should have some basic idea of some terminology, some idea of how the manual testing happens. Like they should know what is smoke regression, how do you write a test cases, how do you prepare your test scenarios and all the stuff. If you can know some idea of manual testing, then you can understand how to automate it. Because for the people who understand testing, they will also understand how to draw feasibility of which of the cases can be automated, which cannot be automated. Because if they don't know how to draw the feasibility, they'll always have to rely on some other manual tester to understand the application. So last and foremost thing is that test automation is a software development process. That means like how developers build their code, we also build our code. But the only difference is they have a separate QA team to test our code. We don't have any separate QA team to test our code. We have to write it. We have to use our testing sense to test the code. If any issue comes up, we have to fix it the script by yourself. We have to do it by everything. It's a development process. So initially it might take some time, but after a while it will reap heavy dividends on your testing process. I hope my points are clear before we jump into test automation and all. So these are the 5 things I want every one of you to remember before you're stepping into this test automation. Okay.
Rahul, could you please repeat your last 2 points?
Beware of automation testers who don't understand testing. Is like this is not for people like who is experienced, but there are some people who come into the industry like 3 years, 4 years. They say like they know automation, but they don't know how to write test cases or how what is a test scenario or a test case, and they simply jump into test automation. So those are the guys who are not right for automation, because the automation engineers should have a basic idea of what is the testing process happening, what is the smoke hood, what is the regression, what is the sprint plan, how it is going on. You should keep a track of what are the testing activities happening, right? Then only they can understand how efficiently you can automate your script. I hope my fourth point is clear now, Sachin.
Yeah, I just wanted to have a additional question on that. So, other than
Mm.
having the technical skill regarding automation, a person or a right candidate should have process-oriented skill as well, if that's what you mean
Yes.
by the fourth point.
Yes. You need to
Okay,
know the process of your business. You need to know the process of your company. You need to know the business model, because if you don't know the business model, no matter how much technical knowledge you have, you can't orient your script accordingly, right?
right, right. But that would only work when the person has been onboarded and
Yes.
he or she has started working and have understood the ongoing process and whatever
Yes.
standards are being used
Yes.
uh, to perform the project deliverables and everything. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Okay.
If they understand that, they'll understand where to automate, what not to automate, which by automating which scenarios which will reduce time, like that. And fifth point is test automation is a software development process. Like we develop the scripts, we prepare framework, we prepare code, we integrate with multiple tools and all. So it takes some time for the code to be built, right? Like how developers take their some sweet time to develop their code. Similarly, automation engineers also take some sweet time to develop their code initially. But once the platform has been set properly, then preparing scripts, sending them for review, getting them analyzed will not take much time. So, like how patient they are with the developers at the initial stage, similarly, we expect that kind of patience with respect to automation testing team also, because initially they are trying to understand the process, business part, everything, and they're trying to automate it. Got it? Clear, Sachin, with
Yeah,
the fifth point?
yeah, understood. 100%. Yeah.
So these are the 5 things that I want you to all have it in your notebook, head, anywhere, because I don't want people running and saying like, "What is automation? I don't know which scenario to automate and all." You have to know what is your feasibility matrix in your organization. What level of automation that your organization is expecting, also you should know. Okay. So coming to the favorite part, that's course plan that everyone was eagerly waiting for. So there are some topics or contents which are not updated in the website. I just wanted to showcase you all those contents. What is it? So what are the basis of testing and purpose of Selenium that we'll discuss. So what is testing and test automation we have discussed today, and what is the importance of test automation along with different facts of testing, case studies and facts. We have discussed that. So we have to see what is the SDLC lifecycle with respect to test automation, and amongst all the tools, why Selenium is being used. So this is the point I want every one of you to answer. Like, you guys have multiple, I mean, good number of years in testing industry. I just wanted to know your views why Selenium is the most popular tool amongst all the tools in the market. Let it be 1,000, 10,000 tools in the market. What is your view on this? Why Selenium is being used the most?
I think it's an open source, freely available to integrate, and it works well with Java and Python.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, yeah, these are the top advantages of Selenium being used.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. How about others? How about others, guys?
I will add top of it. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is a Selenium which automates browsers,
Hmm.
and it is an open source tool.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can access free, and they can perform actions on web browsers. And
Mm-hmm.
it can be, it have good features like everything in less time, and it supports multiple browsers, multiple operating systems, and
Hmm.
multiple languages, programming languages.
Hmm.
That's a Selenium.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else, guys? So, amongst all the tools, open source supports different programming languages and all the stuff, and it supports cross-browser testing. That means the same code can be executed in multitude of browsers. Other automation tools may or may not support multitude of browsers, but Selenium definitely supports. Light in hardware, easy to use. Okay, light in hardware, easy to use. It's flexible according to your own needs. Then we'll be going through the installation of tools. What are the tools that we'll be installing? So we'll be predominantly focusing on JDK, Eclipse and IntelliJ, Git Bash, SSMS. Mongo Compass is something that I would like to deal it with the interest of the students only, because this is just a topic that I would like to discuss so that some people will have hands-on knowledge of what is Mongo Compass at a basic level, and at the same time we are covering SSMS installation and all. Then we'll be using Apache Maven, which is used to build the projects. Then we'll be covering the different GitHub concepts. How do you sign up for a GitHub account? How do you create empty repository? How do you create branches in Git? How do we clone the command from Git using CMD? All the CMD commands we'll be discussing. Check out the code. Okay, pulling the code from Git using CMD. So we'll be learning all the Git commands and we'll be seeing how do we execute on the command prompt. Then how do we perform the same Git commands using the intelligence? Yeah, tell me, Shiva.
Selenium has disadvantages. Are any disadvantages? How can we
Ah, they have
overcome?
their disadvantages. I told you that it has one of the major disadvantages with Selenium is you need to know any programming language. Second thing is it doesn't automate any image processing and all the stuff. Third thing is it does not have any direct integration with any test management tools. It does not have any own reporting mechanism. If you want to generate any reports in Selenium, you have to use any third party plugins. Okay.
How can we
You are
get it, sir?
so if you want to generate the reports, you have to use some third-party libraries to generate the reports. Inbuilt, there is no report generation mechanism. Okay.
Like
Yeah, Priya.
I have a concern actually. So the
Yeah.
installation part, it's different for MacBook and Windows and others, right?
Yeah,
So
definitely. It's
I've
Mac.
been facing difficulties with installation on my MacBook for
Yeah,
Selenium. I
you
don't
will
know.
use the installation and git bash. For that, you need to install Homebrew in your system. Once you have Homebrew in your system, you can install git bash in your command prompt. Rest of the things you can install it normally, as how Windows
Yeah,
user
even the
does.
Selenium I'm unable to, like, I do have JDK like and Eclipse, but I am unable to install the Selenium. If you can, I don't know how, maybe you will give
Okay,
point by how.
Priya, yeah, I'll discuss that today only because once I'll go through the course plan so that everyone can know what I'm teaching and I'll come up to your issue. Will
Yeah,
that
sure.
work?
Yeah, sure, sure. Thank you.
Hmm.
One thing more, Rahul, if you can, what abbreviation you have used in on the screen, as a JDK, Git, can you please write what are the full form and write the full forms also in there so that people like who don't
Okay.
have background they can understand what JDK stand for, Git stand for, like that. Any
Uh,
abbreviations?
Git
Yeah.
is a Git only. There's no full form for Git,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Okay.
JDK stands for Java Development Kit. Why we are specifically saying Java Development Kit? Because Java is a very huge library. In that huge library, you should know what is the exact thing you need to use because there is SC, Advanced, and all those other Java versions. But we are working with JDK, that is Java Development Kit SC. SC means Standard Edition. So most likely we'll be working with JDK 17 or JDK 22. That is a version. We'll be working on Eclipse or IntelliJ tools. That is the 2024 editions. Git bash installation means we'll be working with the Git repository. So the people who don't know what is Git, now suppose Subhashis has written a code for some scenario. Now CJ Binder has also written the code for other scenarios. So if I have to combine the codes written by Subhashis and Binder, I can't ask them to mail the code to me and I will form the repository. No, right? This Git acts as a common code sharing platform where they will push their code files into the Git so that it has an automatic version control system. That means it automatically merges the files and sets the files accordingly in the proper position. And from there, I can take the both of their code files and I can make my add my changes to it, and I can close the work instead of asking you to like Binder to share your code your file via Teams or Subhashish send your code file via your Google Drive or something like that. Git acts as a code repository. Okay, it's a code sharing platform amongst your PT members or peers. So we have discussed what are the Git commands we'll be discussing here. Now we'll be seeing what are the different Java basics that we have. Introduction to Java. How do we create a new class? Basic syntax. What are the different types and wrapper classes? Conditional looping statement. Static versus non-static methods. Constructor basics. Introduction to strings and exceptions. Introduction to arrays. How do we integrate with the basics of Java? Like whatever Java concepts we are learning, ultimately we have to combine them in Selenium, right? That's the whole point of we learning Java from the scratch, right? And we'll also be covering strings, collections from automation perspective. What are the different types of string functions present in Java? How to use string utils concepts for handling the strings in a better way? What are the different collections and the usage and what are the different overview of the collections? So what are the different programming questions that we can have where we can anticipate based on the above concepts? How do we do exception handling and its purpose from automation perspective? How can you use try catch block, finally block? How do you use multiple catch blocks with one try block? What is the difference between through method? And how do you create your own exception message and calling them? How do you convert the exception message to a string? Okay. When it comes to file handling, I'll be seeing what are the different ways of writing the data to the file, reading the data from the file. How do we copy the files from one location to other location? The different concepts of file functions, other in file input stream reader, output stream reader, other stream reader concepts. Yeah, Sachin, go ahead. Sorry. Sachin.
Yeah, I just had one or two questions. So how are we going to go about this? Like, as like we will learn Java first, or we will learn Java and Selenium simultaneously
No,
or
no, no.
parallelly at the
I
same time?
want, I mean, I want all of us to learn Java initially because we need to be clear enough of what are the Java concepts that are required for us. Then later we can combine them in Selenium. Because if I do Java and Selenium parallelly, we will be restricting ourselves to use all the Java concepts in one go. Because when we are doing Selenium scripting, we don't say like this is a if condition, how to use in Selenium. No. In Selenium scripting, we combine all the Java concepts in one go and see how do we do scripting. That is the point, Sachin.
That makes sense. Thank you for answering that. And the next follow-up question is, when we get to do Selenium, will we be doing any hands-on project, uh, or like any
Um,
dummy project we'll be working on, or will you just,
like I'll be discussing two framework designs with you, and I'll be using two different sites where I'll be teaching you a couple of test cases. But I mean, I can't tell you all the test cases in the class, right? I'll be teaching you how
right?
do you use a couple of test cases, how do we link it to report, how do we show it in Excel, how do we put it in database, something like that. Got it? Two
Okay,
designs I will
understood.
give you. I mean, I'll give you two designs and sample test cases of how do you approach the design. From there on, I want you guys to pick it up as part of the practice and you can come up with more queries and questions.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah.
Yep. Can I go ahead? Anyone has any question or can I go ahead with the course content? Okay, it sounds great. So we'll be using the what are the different inheritance concepts that we need to know? What are the different concepts of interfaces, enums? So for the people who are trying to crack the interview, they will not ask you what are the different OOP concepts in Java. They'll ask you what are, can you provide different examples of what are the OOPS concepts that you have implemented in your project. So we'll be discussing all the OOPS concepts from the perspective only. We're not discussing the OOPS concept in a theoretical manner that you see. We'll be also seeing how you have what are the OOPS concepts that you have covered so far and how do you implement them in your framework. That is what we are going to focus on, not the definition part. Then we'll be trying to cover Java Lambda expressions and streams. That is one of the most important skills at this in the current days they are asking because this is the latest way of using latest way of coding and it saves a lot of time and improves performance. That we can do. That means we can do some parallel execution within the code. So if time permits, I'll try to cover knowledge of generics, which is optional. It need not have any knowledge, but it's good to have. But we can I can't promise, but we'll try to cover it. Okay. So setup of basic Selenium project. How do we set up a Maven project? How do we add dependencies? How do we set up a WebDriver and launching of application? So what are the different basics of HTML? Like for the people who don't know the HTML concepts, we can cover in brush up of these concepts. Since this crowd, I mean, I believe like if someone doesn't know some basic HTML concepts, then just cover it, not in depth, but just like what is the input tag, what is the div tag, and all this stuff. Because if you know the purpose of HTML, that HTML tags, it will be beneficial for you to write XPaths and all. So when it comes to Selenium, what is Selenium IDE? What is Selenium RC? What are the different types of locators? How do we find the different elements based on different types of XPath, CSS selectors? How do we handle web tables? How do we use implicit and explicit wait? How do we handle pop-ups using Selenium WebDriver? Actions class? How do we handle multiple windows and tabs based on different combinations? How do we capture screenshots, element screenshot? How do we handle frames and shadow frames? Uploading and downloading of files using Selenium. Selenium full locators. How do we handle different types of calendars? What are the different Chrome options used to enhance our drivers? Then we'll be covering the test-ng concepts. What is test-ng? What are the different annotations? How do we do sample scripting, execution of test cases? How do we group test cases? How do we use asserts? How do we use different listeners? How do we do parallel testing in test-ng? Then we'll be going through some Cucumber concepts, data tables, test engine with Cucumber, runner file, feature file creation and syntax, scenario outline, how do you prepare the scenario name based on the tags, pickled test step concept, how do we use data tables, Then also we'll be covering properties file. How do we create a property file? Remove the value from property file. How do we set the values to the properties file and all the stuff. Then we'll be seeing different Excel operations, basic read and write. Then how do you use the concept of data provider here? Data provider means for the test cases that you have, how do you supply the test data to the test cases with the help of data provider? Then we'll be also seeing how do we write the data from the JSON file, read the data from the JSON file, write the data to the JSON file, and all this stuff. Then we'll be seeing extend reports. How do we generate the regular way, Cucumber adapter? What are different extend reports that we can have? Rest assured API testing. How do we do that? So what are the different basics of SQL we are covering? Because as a QA engineers, we need to have some basic idea of database because these days some of the companies really demand some database knowledge also. Not in depth, but a basic idea of what is database. How do you write your own queries at a certain level? So C will be covering CI/CD, Jenkins, and Maven build. And in the interest of the students, we can also cover MongoDB and integration with Java. MongoDB may or may not sound new for some people, yeah, but we'll try to cover in the interest of the students again. MongoDB. And I know MongoDB is not asked in many of the places, but it's just a knowledge good to have. That's again a bonus topic I would like to say. Okay. Then we'll be trying to cover the API testing using the Karate framework. Okay. Using the Karate framework, how we can do some API testing. Like there are two ways you can do API testing. One is the REST assured library. Another one is the Karate framework. Okay. So earlier reports and test ng with Cucumber. This is again with the interest of the students. I would like to cover or not because I don't want the course to be super lengthy also at the same time. It's again with the interest of students that we would like to cover or not. And among all the things, how to use Excel in the real-time project, how usage of GitHub, apart from Eclipse, how to use other editor IntelliJ, and how to build different frameworks from scratch like data-driven, keyword-driven, hybrid-driven, all this stuff. So when it comes to the bonus topics, again, JUnit testing, Selenium with Chrome DevTools, integration of your DB with SQL and other Oracle databases, handling graphs up to a certain level using Selenium, PDF and Word file generation. These are the bonus topics which are not guaranteeing you, but we will try our level best to cover at least some of these topics. Clear?
How many hours, total hours?
We are expecting around 30 to 45 hours. 30 to 45 classes in
Monday to Friday, na?
Monday to Friday, 9 to 10. Monday to Friday, 9 to 10. Okay.
Okay.
9 to
Like,
10.
are all the sessions recorded?
Yeah, every session is recorded and will be shared to you.
Okay, and I have a doubt. Like, do we need to know any concepts prior to taking these
No need.
classes? Like,
No need to know anything.
because
Just
I
come
don't
with
know
the
that anything about testing at all, like this
yeah.
regression
Just come with
testing.
a
What?
fresh mind, Priya. Just come with a fresh mind, Priya. That's it.
Okay,
Just come with a fresh mind. Just follow the sessions. Have any queries, ask. We'll be more than happy to clarify and will also help you resolving your queries that you face in your office as much as you can, as we can. Because I know office stuff is something you can't share, but if you try to explain your issue, we'll try to replicate the same in the class. Else I will have to deal it offline. Okay.
yeah, thank you.
Mm.
Can you clarify the timing of the class? Is it 9 to 10? Which
9 to 10 p.m. IST.
9 to 10 p.m. I understand. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. How about others? Any queries? Any doubts? If it's the, I mean, I know course is bit lengthy, but these are the skill sets that they're asking us. Even we have a lot of experienced people here attending the course. So for them, if you have all the skill sets ready with you, you can also guide your team at ease. Okay. Guide your team so you can also do your project by yourself. Got it? These days, the demand of automation is so huge that if you're good in all the areas, that is always a bonus. Yes, Subhashish?
Rahul, one question it's just for our own purpose. After completing this course, we will be able to be in a position that we can crack any, interview on purely Selenium skill sets where
Yeah,
Selenium.
you can crack the interview. You can crack the interview. That is not a problem. But since you are a senior resource, not only cracking the interview is the perspective, they'll be focusing more on how you can guide your team to decide which is automation feasible. How will you improve the
Correct.
scope of testing? Those will be the questions mostly they'll focus on you. And when it comes to technical part, yes, if you understand and all the integrations that we are teaching in the class, that is sufficient for you from the interview. And you can try all these integrations in your office environment also. You can face, like if you face any challenges, we'll be supporting you that way so that you'll learn more efficiently. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Anyone? Any doubts? Any queries with respect to course or anything else with respect to QA?
When does the course start? From tomorrow onwards?
From today only.
Oh, I mean, today was the demo session. I thought the
Yeah,
actual session
today's
will
demo
start.
session. Tomorrow we'll get started with some Selenium basic stuff. Like we'll first start discussing with the Selenium family and installations, followed by
Hmm.
the coding.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, because the first question that any recruiter would ask is, do you know what is Selenium family? And what are the different tools present in the Selenium family? That's just a basic things we need to know. And we'll go to the software installations. Got it?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Surabhi, Santosh, Samir, Venkat, Vishal. And whatever the classes we are taking, it's more on the latest versions of the tools and the challenges. And if there is any add-on features given to the Selenium also, we'll try to discuss all the add-on features, which is essential for your scripting. Got it? They'll be giving multiple add-on features, but not all of them is essential from a scripting point of view. There might be some making some library efficiency changes or improving the efficiency of the libraries and all this stuff. Got it? Clear? Clear, everyone?
Yes, Rahul, clear.
Yeah, great. And
One other question. During these classes, Rahul, what we can expect? How much time we need to spend on an average basis to?
mm,
Uh,
like you can say like you have to spend double the time I'm teaching the class. That's a
okay.
good time because when I'm spending 1 hour in the class, if you spend
Mm-hmm.
2 hours on what we are discussing, and if you try to put some experiment the same thing in your coding,
Mm-hmm.
that would be a greater practice.
Okay. So per day, we are anticipating 3 hours of effort, right?
Yeah, 2 to 3 hours is sufficient because you need to code, you need to understand, you have to go through the recording. Like initially you go through the recording, then you understand, then you implement something else, challenges comes up, you'll figure out by yourself. If it's not happening, then you'll call, ping to me right in the next day. So if you
Sure.
do like that only by the end of the 45th day, you'll be like, okay, fine. It's not 100% you'll know, but at least you'll be in a capability to do things by
Correct.
yourself.
That's what
Okay.
our objective. Yep.
Hmm.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. So Priya, what was the challenge you're facing with respect to Selenium? You told that you are having some issues while using Mac, right?
Yes, like I was following some tutorials and the
Uh,
instructions
I'll
to.
I'll tell you what will happen, Priya. Most of the tutorials they'll use build path mechanism. Very few people will teach you using the Maven build mechanism. That is one issue you would face. I would definitely say that.
Okay, like the manually to install the Selenium in
Yeah,
my
manually
Mac
you
is.
should never ever do it. You should add it in a Maven dependency and you should do it. You'll learn that part pretty well. Like we should not manually install any libraries. Okay.
Okay, okay. Yeah, thanks.
Anyone else has any questions, any queries, any doubts?
Yeah, just curious to know that do you have any sessions or classes India AM time? So it will be our PM time.
Regarding any change in timing, CJ Binder, you
No,
have to talk
not,
to me.
I'm not asking to change the timings, but I'm just curious to know any other sessions from your organization that you are
You can
conducting.
talk to Kumar Gupta sir on this. The team will plan the sessions for me. I don't plan the sessions for them. You
Okay.
can talk to Kumar sir on this, and he will arrange some alternatives. Hopefully, positively, I can't guarantee, but he might arrange something else. Yeah.
However, most of the people, AM, our time will be a working day, right? So that might interfere with the people's daily
Yeah,
job schedule.
maybe. Yes. Yes, I mean, you can talk to Kumar Gupta sir on this. He's the
Sure.
right person to answer this query. I'm not the right person.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
All right. I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So, others, I hope it's clear. If it's clear for everyone, we can give it a wrap for the day. And tomorrow onwards, we'll directly jump into the course of what is Selenium, Selenium ID, and all the stuff.
Yes,
Thank you so
Ravi,
much.
it was very clear. Thank you for all the details. So, like, I am yet to decide which batch to start with. I want to join, but this batch I'm not able to join. So I'll discuss with your
Yeah,
discuss with
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just
and the batch.
raise your
Yeah,
concern for timing to Kumar sir. He will come up with an alternative for all of you guys.
yeah. So every month new batch starts, right?
Yeah, like once I finish this batch again next month, June, if I finish it, great. If students are so enthusiastic like you, then I might push it till July also.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's
Thank
better to, my suggestion is
you.
better to, since you have joined, you just talk to Kumar sir about this, like your concern on the time, so that he might do something for you all guys. And because I can't guarantee when the next batch starts, like every month batch starts, I don't know, but from my end, it will take around 1 month to finish. If not 1 month, 20 days, 30 days, it might take because based on the enthusiastic of the students and they'll be asking more questions. So we never know. So definitely you talk to Kumar sir on this and he might arrange some alternatives for you all to have a session with me at a different time.
Got it. Okay, okay, Ravi. Thank you.
Yeah, for
Thank you.
all the people who have some timing issue, just talk to Kumar sir on this and he might have a word with the team and he'll let me know. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely do some arrange alternatives. Yeah.
Yeah, see, the problem is like the time is one because this is currently our working hour, but other than time, there were like other committed deliveries that we promised that might take 1+ month to complete. So that is why, like, I thought the next batch. So, but I wanted to take the demo to decide on like whether I'll be joining here or not. But the decision I made, but now the when to start is my question. But I'll talk with Kumar and then I'll start with you the next batch.
Okay, just talk to him. Tell your concern like night is a bit difficult for me and morning is something we are looking at it with the same trainer. Could it be possible? You just ask to Kumar sir. The
Sure.
team will think about it and get back to you with positively.
And
Uh,
Yeah.
Rahul, uh,
do,
I'm also feeling the same as Revati told you. Like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Definitely. As I told you, talk to Kumar sir. He'll be arranging some alternatives for you and we can have the session
okay.
again at the different time zone for people who are struggling issues like USA, Canada, UK, whatsoever.
do you
Yeah,
also
Priyanka.
do sessions with like Selenium on Python?
No, this is Selenium with Java only. I don't teach Selenium with Python.
Like, could you give any basics on that? Like, if you
Uh,
mind.
I mean, I can help you out, but I'm very bad at Python programming. Trust me. I'm telling you openly
Okay.
that I can see the code, I can tell you what is happening, but I'm very bad at Python scripting. But if you want to give some overview, I can give some overview, but trust me, I'm really bad at it.
Okay, because I wanted to pursue as Python developer as well as QA, so that's why.
No, actually, you go for Java only, Selenium, because if you go for Python, again the CI/CD mechanism of Python is so irritating. Trust me.
Okay.
And the Java has more compatible also. Like you need to add, if you want to add more libraries, you have to use pip install, pip install in Python. Whether in Java, you simply add one dependency, it will download and set the things for you, everything within a
Hmm.
click. So SDET QA for Java is also having a great demand than Python.
Yeah. Okay.
SDET QA for Java has a great demand than Python.
Yeah, I understood. So, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Rahul, can we get these table contents that you just write, or it will be, I mean,
I'll share it with the team. They'll update it on the website.
okay, all right, thanks.
Hope that's fine, or shall I put it in the group?
No, anything would be fine for us. Like,
Yeah,
if we
sure.
need to have some reference point, right?
Sure, I'll just ask the team to update in the website so that you can have it ready. By tomorrow morning IST, we'll have it updated in the website. Okay,
Okay.
thanks. Okay, then it's good to go. Then we can have a we can call for the day and we can have the session from tomorrow.
Thank you, Rahul, for your time and effort.
Thank you.